All right, let's get right into it. We all love a good snack, right? But if you're over 65, that handful of nuts you're reaching for could honestly be a major game changer. We're talking about a super simple choice that can quietly shape your health, your memory, even how you get around. So today, we're going to break down exactly which nuts are your best friends and which ones might be secretly working against you. So, I've got to ask you, straight up, are your daily snarks actually helping you, or could they be harming you? It's a really important question because, as we're about to see, not all nuts are created equal, especially when it comes to giving your body the support it needs as you get older. And here's the bottom line. The right nut can be this incredibly powerful tool, protecting your heart and keeping your brain sharp, but the wrong one, even if it seems healthy, it could be a silent trigger for inflammation, that nagging joint pain, or a bunch of other issues you'd really rather avoid. So let's make sure we get this right. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the good guys. We're calling these the 4 heroes for your health. These are the nuts that 100% deserve a place in your kitchen. So our number one hero is the walnut, and I want you to think of this one like a tiny personal shield for your brain. It's no secret that as we age, things like memory and focus can become a bit of a challenge, and believe it or not, walnuts are just uniquely built to help. So how in the world do they do it? Well, it's because they are absolutely packed with omega-3 fatty acids. These are so important for protecting your brain's neurons from inflammation and making sure blood is flowing nice and smoothly up there. And, as a fantastic little bonus, that exact same process helps out your heart and keeps your cholesterol in check. It's a total double win. And listen, this isn't just some nice idea. It's actually backed by real science. A major study from UCLA discovered that seniors who made a habit of eating walnuts actually scored higher on cognitive tests. I mean, that's a powerful real-world result you just can't ignore. All right, let's move on to our second hero, the almond. If walnuts are all about the brain, I want you to think of almonds as the fundamental booster for your bones and your day-to-day energy levels. You see, almonds are just loaded with the good stuff: magnesium, calcium, and vitamin E. That magnesium in particular is a huge deal for preventing those awful, painful muscle cramps. They also help keep your blood sugar steady so you can avoid those energy crashes that just wreck an afternoon. And so importantly, they help fight oxidative stress, which is one of the main things that drives the aging process itself. Hero number 3 is the pistachio, and this one is a true champion for your cardiovascular system. These little green gems do something really special for your heart health. So what's their superpower? Well, they actually improve the elasticity of your blood vessels. This is huge because it helps fight against that stiffening of the arteries that can happen as we get older. On top of that, they're full of lutein and antioxidants, which is great for your vision. And studies have even shown they can bump up your good HDL cholesterol. They are just a fantastic heart-healthy choice. And now for our final hero, and this one's a bit of an unsung hero, really, the Brazil nut. This is your powerful secret weapon for supporting your thyroid and keeping your immune system in top shape. The secret here comes down to one specific mineral, selenium. And Brazil nuts, they're one of the richest natural sources you can possibly find. Selenium is absolutely vital for balancing your thyroid, which, controls your metabolism and energy, and for keeping your immune defenses strong. And that becomes more and more important as the years go by. But, and this is a really, really big but, you have got to be careful. Moderation is absolutely critical with Brazil nuts. They are so potent that just 1 or 2 per day is all you need, seriously. Any more than that and you could actually overload your system with selenium. So please, remember, 1 or 2 is the magic number. Okay, so we've met our heroes. Now it's time to pivot and talk about the cautionary tales. These are the 4 villains in disguise. Nuts that look and seem healthy, but can actually cause some real problems, especially for folks over 65. First up on our list is the cashew. And I know they have that wonderful creamy taste we all love, but they're hiding a couple of potential issues. Specifically, we're talking about sodium and something called oxalates. So here's the deal. Cashews have these compounds called oxalates. And the problem is they can contribute to forming painful kidney stones. On top of that, they're almost always sold salt roasted. This can just send your sodium intake through the roof, which raises blood pressure and puts a strain on your heart. So the key takeaway is, if you absolutely love them, stick to just a very small amount and make sure they are raw and unsalted.
All right, next up, we have peanuts. And yeah, I know technically they're a legume, but come on, we all treat them like nuts. The unfortunate truth is, for a lot of people, they can be a major trigger for inflammation.
There are really two main worries here. First, peanuts can sometimes have a type of mold on them that produces something called aflatoxins. Over time, this can really put a strain on your liver. And second, for many people, they can directly make joint inflammation worse and cause digestive problems like bloating. If you've ever eaten peanuts and just felt a bit off afterwards, this is probably why. Our third villain isn't dangerous or toxic in the same way, but it's a huge trap for anyone trying to manage their weights or cholesterol. I'm talking about the macadamia nut, the ultimate calorie bomb. Look, macadamia nuts are absolutely delicious. There's no arguing that. But they are incredibly dense in both fats and calories. Just a small handful can easily pack over 200 calories. And for anyone whose metabolism has slowed down a bit, that can add up so fast. It's really best to think of these as a very occasional treat, not a daily go-to snack. And finally, we get to what might just be the most deceptive villain of them all. Pretty much any kind of flavored or pre-mixed nuts you find at the store. This is where really healthy intentions can go so wrong. It really is a simple choice. On one side, you've got the good stuff, plain, raw, or dry roasted nuts. Simple. But on the other side is the danger zone. Things like honey roasted, BBQ, caramelized. Those are just code words for a ton of added sugar, salt, and unhealthy oils that can create trans fats, which are just awful for your arteries. You've always got to read the label. So, to wrap this all up nice and neat, here is your simple formula. Think of it as your cheat sheet. On the left, we've got our heroes. Walnuts for your brain, almonds for energy, pistachios for a heart, and Brazil nuts for your immune system. And on the right, the ones to avoid or at least limit. Cashews, peanuts, macadamias, and definitely any of those sugary, salty flavored mixes. Let's end on this thought right here. This is not about depriving yourself or eating less. It's just about choosing smarter. By making a few small, informed swaps in your snacking habits, you are actively investing in your own long-term health. These simple choices, especially with something like nuts, really can make a profound difference. So, what snack are you going to choose today?